another video here discussing some common Facebook marketplace scams that have recently happened to me. And keep in mind, I'm kind of like an expert at this, right? I do this a lot. I do a lot of deals through Facebook Marketplace. I even did deals through Craigslist when I was younger in high school. So I have a lot of experience with meeting, selling stuff online, meeting people. When I first started, obviously I would take my precautions. I would really be careful with every deal that I made to make sure I wasn't getting scammed. I would meet people in public areas during the day. And nothing had ever happened to me. Like for years, I'd never experienced any sort of scam. And over the years, you start becoming more comfortable and more trusting, right? Because nothing has ever happened to you. Why would something happen to you, right? After, like I said, 10, 13 years of doing this, I got scammed twice in just 1 year, and this was like within the last year. So now my barriers, or whatever you want to call it, I'm more cautious now. I definitely do my due diligence before I meet with someone, and I'm just not just giving my address to anybody who messages me. Okay, so the first one, there was red flags, which I ignored. The very first one was urgency. So just be careful with that. If someone's really urgent to buy something from you, especially when it's priced well, right? It's not like a steal. It's just kind of priced based on its current market value. Just be careful with that. Number two is review their reviews. Spend a few minutes to review some reviews. I didn't do that for that particular first scam. If I would have opened the reviews, I would have never met with this guy. Like, his reviews were super low. One of them actually stated the exact same scam that happened to me. One of the comments actually was saying that, right? I could have avoided this whole situation. Number three is just open up their profile. See if they have pictures with family or with friends. See if they have friends, see if they're active on that profile. See when they opened it. I think it tells you when they opened their Facebook account. If it was opened many, many years ago, then you know that that client has been around for a long time, or that user has been around for a long time. There's no reason for them to try to scam you and get their whole Facebook shut down, right? If someone doesn't have a profile picture and they just opened their account like 2 months ago, that's kind of a red flag. You know what I mean? Like, they have nothing to lose, in other words. They're probably not doing something right. So those are just a few things that you can do before you meet with the person, or before you send the address to someone. In that particular case, I received the message. The guy seemed interested. He also was interested in a few items. He even made me an offer for 2 of my games. I accepted, and I think the offer was, it was $70 for 2 games. So I sent him my address. He showed up in 15-20 minutes, just like he said he would. This is flag number 2. So when he shows up, I typically, I'm watching for people to show up. I open the door and I kind of step out of my house and wait for them to walk up to me. In this case, he waved me towards his car. He didn't get off his car. He just rolled down his window and waved me over. So me being super trusting, I walked towards him, and he just says, "Hey, what's up?" Kind of just small talk. He says, "Are these games working?" I said, "Yeah, everything's no problems." I even told him, where I live. If you have any issues, you can come back and return them to me. So he's like, okay. He kind of thought about it for a few seconds. He's like, okay, I'll take them. he hands me over money, right? And the moment I saw the dollar bills, they were like the most, just the worst fakes ever, right? They were just made out of like straight up the cheapest paper you can think of. It seemed like he almost just printed them off from just a copy machine or whatever, a printing machine. And he cut them out, you know. So they were super fake. It was a $50 bill and a $20 bill. And yeah, so the moment I saw the money, I'm very familiar with money. I used to work at a bank as a teller, so I know immediately when it's fake money. I didn't even have to touch the money. But you know, I grabbed it, and you know, I noticed the feel was off, the color was off, everything about it was off, and I immediately tell him, I'm like, dude, this money is fake. I'm not going to be able to accept this money from you. And then at that point, when I say that, hey, dude, this money is fake, boom, he just speeds off. He almost took my arm with him. He had his car on drive already, I think. He was kind of ready to speed off. He hands me the money, I tell him it's fake, and then boom, he's just out. Man, that was a huge shock to me. You know, nothing like that has ever happened to me before. And now that I think about it, the flags were there. I should have never walked up to him. I should have made him get out of his car. But you know, it's just some things that sometimes you just can't control some of those things, you know. And moving forward, obviously, I'm going to be a lot more careful with who I'm meeting. I'm going to look at the reviews. One of the reviews, back to my point earlier, had the exact same thing that happened to me, was just kind of out there. It was another review, 1-star review. The guy said, hey, this guy drove off with my items. So if I would have read that, I would have never met with the guy. You know, I would have just left him on red and blocked him. So, short story long, I never messaged him. I didn't want any problems with the guy. I don't know what he was going through. I just let it go. You know, it looked like he was not doing well. His car was falling apart. It looked like he might have been into drugs. I'm not trying to profile him or anything, but obviously he needed the money more than I did. So I just kind of let it go. I didn't contact police. I didn't contact him. All I did was I blocked his profile. I didn't even leave a review. You know, I didn't want any issues with him. He knew where I lived. I didn't want to put my family in danger. I didn't want to put myself in danger. So I just let it go. I know that might have been not the right thing to do, but I just simply did not want any problems with that guy. Over $70, I'm just like, take it, you know. Whatever, you know, good luck with it. He probably took him to a pawn shop and he got $30. So he probably didn't get too ahead with that. But yeah, just be careful with that scam. There's people in need who are literally going to steal in front of your eyes. So just be careful with that. Do your due diligence. Again, anybody who's urgent, anybody who has bad reviews, anybody who's waving you towards their car, bad sign. Just have them get off their car. If they don't want to get off their car, just wave them goodbye as well. The second scam that happened to me, again, within the last year was, and this is another problem that I have. I became very trusting over the years. I forget what it was. I think it was like some sort of Christmas ornament, like a landscaping ornament, and it was like $80. This lady comes, she makes small talk, very friendly, very happy. She kind of looks at the item and she liked it. She basically hands me a bunch of money. It was like probably like 5s and 1s. I forget the exact denominations, but I grabbed the money and I don't even count it. You know, I had stopped doing that in front of people just because, again, I've never had an issue. Just because I'm nice, I'm nice, but now I learned my lessons. Don't trust people. So I grabbed the money. It's $60. Basically, after I counted, it was like $60. So I wave bye to her. She takes the item. I go inside. I count the money, and sure enough, there's $20 missing. And what are the chances of someone miscounting $80? Right? It's not a lot of money. I would understand if it's like a couple $1,000s and you miss a 20. Like, okay, whatever. But you're missing what, 25% of the money. This was another one that I just left it as it was. I didn't even contact her. Sometimes it's just not worth it. Like, the stress to me is not worth it. I don't want to get angry over something over $20, so I just kind of take it as a lesson, as a stupid tax, and I just learn from that, and it's never going to happen to me again. Ever since that, I've learned to count money in front of people. At least just glance at it, make sure it's there. With $100 bills, I usually do kind of just wave them towards the light and make sure that I see the face in there. Usually I have a good feel for real money anyway. I don't necessarily need to do that, but I recommend you doing that. So yeah, those are the two scams that have happened to me in the last year. It's funny because it's been, people scam you right in front of you. You would think it's like people trying to do online scams where they're trying to have you send money. I've received a ton of those messages. I kind of filtered those out. I know those scams, but I guess I'm not prepared with people trying to steal in front of you. That's where I've been caught a few times. So just be careful with those. So yeah, that's my story with Facebook and some of the scams that are going around. They've happened to me in the last year after selling for many, many, many years. So I have a lot of experience, but you just get comfortable sometimes. So always keep your guards up and be careful out there. Thank you. Bye.